The Rev and the Rabbi. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network. Attention Ditto Heads. Attention Bo Scouts.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
It's time for the Soul of Excellence.
He is a radio host here in New York.
The Rush Hour is on the air.
Rush.
Now here's James Golden.
Once again, I just voted no on a blank check for ICE and CBP. Because today, Republicans in Congress tried once again to shovel billions of dollars into ICE without any restraints whatsoever. And you know what? Every Senate Republican voted for it. They voted to rubber stamp all of ICE's terror. Keep in mind, what they tried to pass doesn't even make ICE follow the same rules that our local police have to follow. I didn't just vote no. I voted hell no. Enough is enough. Democrats in the Senate are fighting back to stop ICE's violence.
You should know I have vowed to use every tool that I have to disarm and dismantle ICE. And I can promise you this, ICE will not get another cent from me. Rest assured of that.
ICE will not get another cent from me. I'm going to use every tool to dismantle ICE. Thank you, Chantel. Sounds like you should be a singer in one of these things. Chantel. That first one was Elizabeth Warren. We give her the tomahawk chop for that one. She voted hell no. And then Chantel out of Ohio, Chantel Brown, I want you to know I'm using all my tools to dismantle and defund. Great. I wonder what's in her toolbox to dismantle ICE. Right on, Chantel, right on. James Golden, my friends, it's Friday again. Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour, fastest hour in American media. So much drama going out there. I have had the most interesting debates with my friends. There's a story in the Hill today, too, about how MAGA media is upset with Pam Bondi for the conference, the hearings yesterday. And I saw, let me see if I can find it. I spent some time looking at the Bondi hearing. That was unhinged. Attorney General of the United States of America heads the DOJ. That did not work in her favor. She's scared. That was a test. I said, this is political theater. Congressional hearings have devolved into this nonsense that we saw for the last 30 years. These hearings are nothing more but let me see what I can get out of these hearings for a soundbite, for a social media reel. And it doesn't matter which political party it is. Both sides do this. And they have been doing it. Well, I wish the straightforward, legitimate questions were answered. When has that happened? You can go back to here. As I said the other day, these congressional hearings, folks, I'm a student of this stuff. I study it. This current devolvement of congressional hearings began with Maggie Williams, who was Hillary Clinton's COS, the chief of staff, went to testify before a group of Republicans. She smoked them. She did the same thing Bondi did, insulted them, called them out, refused to answer their questions. But at the time, it was unusual. And people, the insiders that follow this stuff like me, watching all these congressional hearings and Senate hearings, we were shocked How can you go up before Congress and be so disrespectful? How can and Republicans were shocked. They didn't know how to handle it. It didn't hurt that Maggie was a black woman, so they were really afraid to call her out because they didn't want to be called racist or anything else. They just let her get away with it. And then, slowly but surely, it began to become the trend. Then you had congressmen and congresswomen getting in the act. They started interrupting each other. They started trying to yell, scream. This is nothing new. This is routine in Washington, D.C. If you want oversight, real oversight, where people are called in, they listen to questions, they take the questions seriously, they answer the questions truthfully, that train left the station 30 years ago, and it's not pulling back in Union Station or any other station. It's not happening. Then there was, under Biden, I wonder if any of these people that are B.I. itching about Pam Bondi have ever watched when Mayorkas was brought up to answer why they were letting 11 million illegal immigrants into the country. And he just pretty much stonewalled these people, everything that they said to him. He just deflected and refused to answer. And they were, well, we're going to impeach him. We're going to impeach him. Yeah. They impeached him and nothing happened. Merrick Garland, the head of the FBI, what's his face? That was one of the, we used to just sit up and what is it? The guy from the FBI, I'm sorry, I'm having a mental block right now. I know his name. Anyway, he ducked out of one hearing and said, listen, I've got something to do. I've spent enough time here. I've had enough. I got to go. You know where he went? He didn't go on official FBI business. He left, got on a private plane, and went on vacation. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So everybody that's B.I. itching about Pam Bondi, give me a break. Pam Bondi did what everybody else has been doing in Congress when they show up to these congressional hearings. They make a mockery of them. They don't answer any questions that are intended to be answered. They get into verbal fisticuffs with each other. Then you get and then you get some of the best. We played them from Jasmine Crockett with her racial pronouncements. Don't you remember? I wish I had thought about this, Carlos, because we used to play. Do you remember when MTG and Jasmine Crockett got into it for the first time in Congress? And that was the what does she call it? The butch, the something built body butch haircut. It was whatever it was. It was hysterical. But you people that actually think that oversight hearings are going to be about oversight? Oh, come on. Where have you been? And it has now even spread into the United States. Christopher Wray, thank you. Christopher Wray was being interviewed, and of course, and he just flat out, look, I'm done here. I gotta go. I have an appointment. I have pressing matters. Got up and just got the hell out of there. And they later learned that he got on his private airplane and took off for vacation. And they were outraged. Head of the FBI just stuck his middle finger up at him pretty much. I gotta leave. I have important things to do instead of sitting here answering the stupid questions from you stupid people in Congress. You have that MTG, Jasmine. Let's go. Don't you remember this? These are your
just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's
I'm trying to find clarification on what quality.
Chairman, motion to strike those words.
I had no idea what you just said.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just.
But Play it one more time. I haven't heard it in ages. I just want to hear it one more time.
Just to better understand your ruling, if someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's a part
I'm
of it.
trying to find clarification on what.
So you want to tell me that Pam Bondi, Pam Bondi really did a number up there. She was so come on. Pam Bondi came ready. She had the oppo done. Every time she turned, she had a book with nothing but insults, apparently, just ready for whichever congressperson was going to ask her an annoying question. Because that's the other side of it. They try to ask her questions to embarrass her, to get after. It's all political theater. And then she has her oppo book ready. So when Jamie Raskin piped up with this thing, what she says, you're just a failed loser lawyer. Oh, actually, you're not even a lawyer. Blah, blah, blah. When this one comes, it's a circus. It's not intended to be oversight for the American people anymore. That train left the United States of America station. It left Union Station 30 years ago. And it hasn't been seen since. So if you watch congressional hearings, just be prepared for it. And it's nothing new. All right. We got so many things. Cory Booker, Spartacus with more drama. We had great numbers on consumer spending. Have you heard what's going on in New York with this flag thing, this flag business in New York? Yeah. We got that. There's a federal park down there near where is it? Near Stonewall, near the Stonewall Inn. It's a national park. Now, national parks have a rule. Only permitted, and this is law now, only permitted in national parks, the Department of Interior flag, the American flag, or a POW flag. That's it in national park. Now, at this park near Stonewall, they had a gay pride flag. So feds took it down. And now, huge major uproar. Mamdani, 1,000 people showed up apparently. And whatever, they went in and put the gay flag back up. And it's turning into just close the damn park. If Democrats never, ever, ever want to abide by the rules, by the law, and rather than get into a back and forth, we taking the flag down. No, we're putting it back up. We're taking the flag down. No, we're putting it back up. We're putting it back up. We're putting it back up. We're taking it down. We're putting it back up. Close the damn park. If Democrats refuse to follow the law and follow the rules, look, I mean, don't think that I'm a bad guy here. I could appreciate it. If the Democrats said, listen, this is really special to us, may we have a waiver? Can we apply for a waiver? There's got to be some mechanism to apply for a waiver for this. It has a real sentimental meaning for us. If they said that, and the administration then stuck their middle finger and said, well, we don't care, or was just rude or whatever, I can see them being a little outraged. But this is the law. What's wrong with following the law? Democrats, if it's the law and they don't like it, they don't care. They're just going to break the law no matter what. And if you try to enforce the law, they're going to break the law anyway. The Democrat Party, bunch of lawless people, elected Democrats. They only want to follow the laws that they agree with. If they don't agree with the law, whether it's immigration law, whether it's whatever law, if they don't agree with the law, if the law doesn't fit into their party ideology, then screw the law. The law doesn't matter. But that's not the way it's supposed to work. Everybody else has to follow the rules. You guys should follow the rules too. Carlos wasn't here yesterday. I asked Carlos right before the show started. I said, Carlos, what happened yesterday? Did you get married or was it an ICE raid? He just looked at me. He said, really? Does it have to be one of those two? Really? Really? James Golden Snerdley. Next segment, short, coming back. Don't go away. Fastest hour in American media continues.
Rush. This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Bo Snerdley.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our country has to offer, especially health care. Across every state, every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
Why are we tightening this noose around people when, I mean, just simply, why can't we do it online? Why can't you do it online?
People want this.
I think the polling
so you're telling people that they're wrong?
I think,
yes.
People
People are saying they support voter ID. The SAVE Act is very different. And when you say leave it to the states, I mean, this is what happened when they gutted voting rights. This is what.
This was the Abby show on CNN. By the way, I saw a report. I don't know where I saw it, that CNN has lost 2/3 of its viewers or something like that, or whatever it is, over the past few years. They're down to, I think, what I saw was 500,000, which is like, Anyway, that was on the Abby show, which is basically a Democrat Party show. When Scott Jennings is on, it really should be the Scott Jennings show featuring Abby with the Democrat talking points. But then you had this Baraki Sellers guy. This voter is tightening a noose around voters. I mean, really? Showing an ID is tightening a noose. Meanwhile, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be another government shutdown. It's happening. There's no stopping it. The Democrats have already left town. So the Democrats are going to shut down your government, at least part of it. They're going to shut down the United States Coast Guard. I guess they figure, who needs the Coast Guard? They're going to shut down FEMA. I guess the Democrats say, who cares about FEMA? And they're going to shut down the TSA. All because they're mad over ICE. ICE is still funded. So we'll have more on that. Whatever you do, keep it right here. Do not go away.
The Rev and the Rabbi on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
What do you mean when you say that you believe in the Great Replacement theory?
Senator, thank you for that question. This refers to the intentional demographic replacement of Europeans in Europe. It was invented by Renaud Camus, who was a French scholar.
You think there's an active effort to, quote unquote, replace Americans right now?
Senator, I think the Democratic Party, through its immigration policies, has certainly shown signs of that.
And I don't understand that. So you are saying that if more Americans are black or Latino Americans, that somehow weakens America because it puts whites in a minority.
I don't understand that. Look, pal, we Democrats for years have called it the browning of America, but I don't understand that. I don't. And then he went on a dramatic Phil rant. That's New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't understand the great replacement theory as Democrats tried their best to execute it during the Biden administration by allowing over 11 million people, mostly from Latin America and Asia and Africa, into the United States on purpose, undocumented, as a word they like to say. Anyway, but he doesn't understand it. Oh, no. So you had that exchange. We have another one with Cory. I may hold it till tomorrow in the interest of time. Then you had this CNN Abby show. Look, there are a lot of guys who are married, and for some of you, not all of you, for some of you, I'm going to apologize in advance of playing the Tiffany Cross with Joe Borelli. I just have to, because I know this is going to trigger you when you hear Tiffany. So, without any further ado, from the Abby show last night, cut 10, Carlos, CNN's Abby show with Tiffany Cross. Joe Borelli is trying to make a point, and then Tiffany happens.
It is a disgrace and disrespect
Tiffany,
to call that a success.
The immigration laws have not changed in the last 10 years, in the last 20 years.
How is it a success that they shot a nurse in the back and a mother in the face?
No one is saying, you're putting words in my mouth. Stop putting words in my mouth. I said the operation was a success.
I'm not going to say they didn't do anything wrong.
They reestablished the fact that immigration and customs enforcement can enforce immigration law. They reestablished that fact. That happened. It is unfortunate. It's a tragedy. There's an investigation going on with those shootings.
Look Alex Preddy's mother in the face and tell her that her son getting murdered by the state was a success.
No one is saying
look yourself in the mirror tonight and tell yourself it was a success.
When the hell did I say someone getting shot in a police operation?
At the beginning of the show.
Hold on. I think we can, I think she's raising an important question.
Of course you do. The guy says the operation was a success in terms of, so, people getting shot in their faces, look in the mirror, tell your mother, look, like I said, I know some of you guys are triggered. This doesn't matter the topic. Whatever topic it is, you live with this. I understand it. Like a bunch. I can't even get a word in edgewise. And then Abby comes in. Look, I'm the moderator here. She's right. The guy never said. It doesn't make a difference. That's who they are. And then listen how casually, it is a story, news story on this today, and the Daily BS, but listen to how casually Abby deals with lost children. Cut number 9 from the Abby Phillip show on CNN.
Tom Homan was set in to de-escalate, and obviously in a not shocking turn of events, Minneapolis officials, Jacob Fry, are saying one thing about what's happening, and Tom Homan is saying that they do have some sort of retainer or detainer rather with these county jails. But I would say, as for the poll numbers, which you pointed to, I think a lot of that has to do with what the media chooses to focus on. And one thing that Tom Homan highlighted today is that in Minnesota, they have found 3,364 children that the Biden administration lost. And instead, 93% of the media coverage has been negative on ICE, according to the Media Research Center.
I know Tom Homan has been big on this lost children thing, but the idea that these children were lost or missing has never been true. Some of them were released into the custody of relatives or other caretakers, which is part of the process over many years.
They often were released to adults who weren't verified.
Listen, all I'm saying is that his characterization of them as being lost has never been accurate. And it wasn't accurate when he started saying it a year ago. It's still not accurate today. There are a lot of different reasons why those children were released into the custody of adults in the interior of the United States. That is not the same thing as those children being lost.
The children were lost. The Biden administration could not give a clear answer of where they were. That constitutes being lost, Abby. Abby, I'm a shill for Democrats no matter what. Philip, I know he's talking about the lost children thing. It's just, remember when children were supposedly being separated from their parents, and that was the big issue du jour for Democrats? It doesn't matter whatever issue it is, as long as they can point away from Joe Biden, away from their own party, and the mismanagement of this entire immigration issue, they're happy to do so. And those children could not be tracked down. That constitutes lost. The government did not know where they were, the incoming government, and if Joe Biden and his administration knew where they were, perhaps they should have told the Trump administration when they took office where they were, Abby. Now, so we got through the Tiffany rant, and then the Abby, let's not even deal with it when it comes to children. We got through on the Abby show, Baraki Sellers saying that asking for ID is like tightening a noose around people. That inflammatory language. Then Joe Borelli tries to make a point. And cut 13. It'll speak for itself. Cut 13.
Yeah, it's great to have a debate, but we have to remember that 80% of the people have a general understanding about what voter ID is. They have an understanding that, voter ID at some form is in about 25 states. I personally am sick of sort of the circles that we always run, where Republicans are saying, this many cases of voter fraud have happened. Democrats will say, well, that's not indicative of, massive voter fraud. I want to hear where in those 23 or 24, 25 states that have voter ID laws in place already, where people are required to show an ID, where is the massive studies of people being disenfranchised? In fact, it's the opposite is true. You remember, I think it was 2021, the MLB All-Star Game pulled out of Georgia because Georgia was implementing voter ID and it was going to disenfranchise voters. The number of gubernatorial voters went from the year before 1.1 million to 1.9. Bakari, your state, I looked it up. South Carolina, because I know they're a voter ID state. They went from 56% voter turnout in the presidential year in 2012 to 61% in 2020 and then like 65% in 2024. Those are more people voting in states that have passed voter ID laws. So this is why I think the majority of Americans reasonably can look at it and say this is a good thing.
You just wasted about 3 minutes and we're not talking.
Yeah, so when you disprove them, that in fact when you have voter ID, you hear Barack say, oh, you just wasted time. Wasted time by telling you the truth. And Lady Benedict, thank you. It was a huge issue recently when that little boy was, quote unquote, separated by his dad who abandoned him, and then the mother refused to take the kid. That's that ICE raid that they kept going on and on about the 5-year-old boy, and you're snatching children, et cetera, et cetera. See, children matter to Democrats when they can be used as pawns. Pawns in a political narrative. When you had these, and we questioned it at the time, you had hundreds of thousands of children showing up at the borders in the presence of who knows who. In some cases, they were cartel members. They were unaccompanied minors. And we kept saying, how is this possible? And why are you allowing this to happen? And these same Democrats that are sitting here like Abby, oh, I know he's talking about this lost children thing. This was more than a lost children thing. There have been children that have been horribly abused with those open borders. I guess those are the lost children thing, too, because they don't go into the narrative the Democrats want you to have. It's disgusting, actually. And yes, there was massive confusion about where some of these kids ended up, how, and there have been other stories that indicate in the news that some of them were trafficked. But I guess that's not a major concern when you have other political points to make. Okay. There's that. Fannie Willis is back. I'm going to wait till tomorrow. Mamdani. You know, there's been this cold weather thing in New York on top of snow. 18 people dead in the streets because one of the reasons that's pointed to it is that one of the first things Mamdani did, just like that the girl that won the Seattle mayor's race, homelessness is okay. We're going to just let the encampments come back. Anyway, he was questioned on it. Cut 18. And this is what that questioning sound like for the new governor, the new mayor of New York.
Mayor Mamdani. At least 18 to 24 New Yorkers died during the recent severe weather storm, including unsheltered individuals exposed to freezing temperatures. Yes or no?
18 New Yorkers lost their lives outside during the Code Blue period. That's a period that began from January 19th.
Yes or no, Mr. Mayor?
I'm sorry, I have to give you the full extent of the answer.
It's
January
okay.
19th.
Well, I'll take that as a yes. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Your administration allowed these people to remain in homeless encampments during forecasted freezing conditions. Yes or no?
No, these deaths had nothing to do with homeless encampments. These were 18 New Yorkers who died.
Thank you,
over
Mr.
the
Mayor.
course
I'll
of
take
this
that as a
Code
yes.
Blue period.
I appreciate it. After the storm,
I opened.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Okay. After the storm, 8-foot-high piles of rat-infested garbage, including mountains of ice, choking the city streets, creating a dangerous public health situation not seen in this scale. I can't even remember. Are you aware these conditions still exist? Yes or no, Mr. Mayor?
Can you restate the beginning of it?
Yeah. The mountains of rat-infested garbage and mountains of ice, do they still exist in New York City? Yes or no?
We continue to have snow in our city, and a large part of that is because after receiving
garbage picked up, yes, Mr. Mayor? Yes or no?
Garbage is being picked up on schedule by DSNY.
Let's move on. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. NYP data shows anti-Semitic hate crime surge 182%. This is your statistics from your NYPD during your first month in office. Yes or no?
There were 31 incidents of anti-Semitism.
Thank you. That's a yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Folks, the garbage, in some cases, there are many news stories about it under Mamdani, piled as high as human beings and down, I don't know, how long stretches of blocks, how many blocks. Yes, they allowed homeless people. They didn't make an effort in New York to make sure that the homeless population was taken off the streets in advance of the horrid, frigid, cold weather. So far, 18 dead. Dead. Now, they can continue to make all the excuses they want. It is clear that this mayor does not know what he's doing. Okay? It's clear. But he went up to Albany the other day. I love the phrase for this. There's a local ABC 7 in New York. ABC Channel 7 is the local ABC television affiliate there in New York, for those of you not in New York, and quite a few of you are not. Let's check in with that very quickly. A news report on the Mayor Mamdani, what they call Tin Cup Day. And here's that report.
Today in Albany, looking at asking for money. Political folk call it Tin Cup Day. The new mayor, already facing a $7 billion budget deficit, needs even more to pay for his agenda. Will the legislature and will Governor Hochul greenlight the mayor's plans for higher taxes on corporations and New Yorkers earning more than $1 million? Here's NJ Perkin.
After 2 weeks spent turning over rocks at City Hall, Mayor Mamdani announced today that the budget deficit is no longer $12 billion.
We have lowered that $12 billion gap to $7 billion.
Testifying before a joint budget hearing in Albany, the mayor admitted that his team had underestimated income from Wall Street salaries and bonuses and identified $1 billion in efficiencies, but insisted that it's not nearly enough.
I believe that the wealthiest individuals and most profitable corporations should contribute a little bit more so that everyone can live lives of dignity. That's why, along with raising the corporate tax, I'm asking for a 2% raise in personal income taxes on the most affluent New Yorkers.
But the mayor's request raised more than a few eyebrows.
We can't keep raising taxes and have people fleeing.
You're talking about free busing, free childcare. So that's pretty ambitious. The state is in serious fiscal trouble as well.
I have a big concern.
because of your philosophy. So do you have any concern about that?
I am confident that people will continue to stay in this city. There's no doubt in my mind that what should be driving all of our politics are the needs of working people.
Even those who agreed with Mamdani had questions of their own.
All right, well, we'll grow the pie, and we need to make sure that you have your priorities in order.
Governor Kathy Hochul has ruled out tax increases. Andrew Ryan of the Citizens Budget Commission says Mamdani shouldn't need higher taxes.
Increasing taxes risks alienating and driving away businesses that create jobs and people who disproportionately pay a lot in our taxes that fund our public schools, our police, our sanitation. We need to be competitive. That's why we should hold the line on taxes.
Andrew Ryan says the mayor can find the money in his own budget. But Mamdani clearly believes that populist support for taxing millionaires is growing and that state lawmakers may be underestimating that. At City Hall,
right.
Burke at Channel 7.
Yeah. When you have Democrats, and some of those were Democrats, questioning tax increases, you're at the limit. James Golden, Snerdley. Fastest hour in American media continues. Don't go away.
Rush. This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Bo Snerdley.
The Rev and the Rabbi on the Red Apple Podcast Network. It's the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
Rush. Now, here's James Golden.
Ladies and gentlemen, Princess Diana just sent me something posted on Truth Social within the last few minutes. It is from the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. The Democrats refuse to vote for voter ID or citizenship. The reason is very simple. They want to continue to cheat in elections. This is not what our founders desired. I've searched the depths of legal arguments, not yet articulated or vetted on this subject, and will be presenting an irrefutable one in the very near future. There will be voter ID for the midterm elections, whether approved by Congress or not. Also, the people are insisting on citizenship, no mail-in ballots, and with the exceptions for military, disability, illness, or travel. Thank you for your attention to this matter. We got to go. May God bless. Protection each and every one of you, your families, your loved ones. Love and gratitude for your being with me, allowing me to be with you. We're playing Frank because this is the day he launched his own record label, Reprise Records, and became the chairman of the board. We're back in the morning, God willing, and hope you'll be there with us. In the meantime, I bid you adieu. Bye.
The Rev and the Rabbi on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Thanks for listening to The Rev and the Rabbi. You can hear The Rev and the Rabbi Sunday mornings at 7. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our country has to offer, especially health care. Across every state, every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.